Break the glass. I'll break the glass. I'll break it down. Break the glass is my 2B. Welcome back to Asinine Radio, a weekly podcast where we talk about music, and, well, that's pretty much it. So, let's go!
This is Asinine Radio. This is the weekly music podcast where every week we get into a different album from a different band or artist and we break it down. We do a lot of research so you guys don't have to. And then we talk about it. We discuss it, sometimes track by track. Sometimes we give our biggest bangers and just talk about those. I don't know what we're going to do this week. While we're, chatting, talking, you can go to Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can go there. Give us only 5 stars. 5 stars only, please. And don't give us 1 star. Don't be a douchebag like Bo Cephas. And all of the social media is at Asinine Radio. We have a Discord server if you're into that stuff. Hit us up. We'll send you the link to that. We also have a phone number you can call. You can leave us a voicemail, shoot us a text. That phone number is 503-893-5307. So get into that. If you didn't already know, my name is Tyler. And way out there, hundreds of miles away, is Jeff. Also, if you hear a cat sound, a cat meowing or crying or whatever, that is, we think somebody pulling a prank on Jeff, and he cannot find the source of this cat sound. So if you hear it, we'll probably talk about it because we're tallying how many times this goes off during the podcast. Just throwing that out 6. There. We're at 6 right now. So yeah, let's get into the episode. What are we doing today, Jeff?
Oh, we are doing Suicide Machines and their album Destruction by Definition.
All right, Jeff. Now that we got that out of the way, let's give our origin story with the Suicide Machines. What do you got? Go.
It's Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. When that came out, that's how I heard Suicide Machines. It was Superman was my favorite song from Tony Hawk, and then New Girl was a very, very close second. And that's just how it was. That's how it been since the dawn of time. And Tony Hawk came out years after this album came out. And so the first Suicide Machine album that I bought was Steal This Record. And I remember I liked that cover, which I still like the cover, which I don't know why you don't like it. But I remember thinking, like, damn, this is not as good as New Girl. Just like that one song. This is just not that good. Not as good. So, that's my origin story. I never really went back to them as outside of just listening to Destruction by Definition, which I rarely go back to it and listen to its entirety. I just playlist like 6 of my bangers from that album.
Mm-hmm.
But I for sure had never gone back to and listened to 3 of their other albums, which we did this week, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Blown away by some of it, for sure. Disappointed in some as well. But my origin story is exactly like yours. It comes from the Tony Hawk Pro Skater video game, the first game. And that game came out in 1999, so a good 3 years after this record came out. And it was this song, Goldfinger, Superman, Primus's Jerry Was a Race Car Driver, and the Vandals' Eurobarge. Those are the songs that I constantly listen to. Like you can in the original, the OG game on PS1. I don't know. I can't say for the N64, but for the PS1 version, you could if it was a song you didn't like when you started that level, you could just hit retry real quick. And then just hope that the next song is going to be the song that you want. So I would hit retry multiple times just to hear one of those 4 songs. And that's what I would do. Like I was obsessed with those songs and never heard anything like Suicide Machines or Primus or Vandals or Goldfinger. Like they were just so unique to themselves. And dude, I fucking love all of these songs. I love New Girl, obviously. That's why we played it. And that's kind of why we're doing this record too. So I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more about Tony Hawk as well, because how can you fucking not?
It's true.
So yeah, that's my origin story. And let's start it off. Do we have any stinkers off this record?
No stinkers.
Agreed. I have no stinkers. Not every song is a banger for me. It's probably the same for you.
I was surprised at how many okay songs I had, to be honest.
I get it because there are a lot of there's like 16 songs.
Yeah.
And this could have easily been cut down to 10 or 12.
Yeah, like
For sure.
this is very top heavy. I think, man, after like these are good B team songs though. These are really really good backup songs. They're good filler, but they're still kind of like filler. But I don't have any bangers after track 9.
Really? Wow. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then let's get into New Girl since we already played it. Where does this sit banger wise for you?
I mean, this is my 1B. This is
Hell yeah.
This is so good. This is why this song is why War Profiteering was number 2. Is because I was like, I should be edgy and put War Profiteering at number 1 because like there were more bangers on that album than bangers on this album for sure. But New Girl alone, I mean, New Girl alone sets this so high in the pedestal that it would never be taken down. It can never be taken down. New Girl is a beyond banger. Nostalgia aside, it's just a great song. It is the perfect ska punk song. Perfect.
Yeah. Yep. I agree with you. I think this is a beyond banger. I mean, it starts off with that drum, the snare drum, and it's the perfect 90s drum tone. Like it has enough crack. It cuts through the mix well enough to where it doesn't overpower everything. It's just I think from a production and mixing standpoint, this song is absolutely perfect. Songwriting wise, you got everything. You got the big, heavy kind of hardcore punk stuff. You got the super awesome ska stuff. You have the good screaming. You have the melodic vocals. You have the squirrely bass lines. Dude, you got everything in this song, all within like a 2.5 minute span or less than 2.5 minutes. It's fucking amazing. I fucking love it.
I will say like the highlight of this band, I shouldn't say the highlight, like the most surprising thing for me through most of their albums has been the bass playing. I've never gone like it's always interesting because we go back to these older albums and we listen to them with a different ear, a more mature ear, and we hear things that we just never heard before. And this guy Royce, who played bass on their first 4 albums, it's just, I mean, this is fantastic bass playing. It is phenomenal. It's unbelievable. He's noodling, but it's not just like noodling. He's still keeping rhythm. He's still keeping the tone. He's driving the song forward. He's simultaneously playing with the drums while also like leading the guitar. And I think that is unbelievably difficult to do in a fucking ska punk band.
I know. I thought the same thing going into this record. I mean, I've heard this record I don't even know how many times over the years, but this is the first time I really kind of sat down and just really, really listened, because it's always an album you just kind of put on maybe in the background or just, it's that kind of album.
Before a show, before I go out to fucking drink for Night in the Town, I put this album on to hype myself up because
you get pumped up. Yeah, because it's energetic, it's fast, it's everything you want from like a punk record. Honestly, that's what this is. But yeah, like you, I was very surprised at how good the bass playing was. The rhythm section, really. I mean, Derek and Royce, fucking amazing rhythm section, really locked in. And another thing that really stood out to me this week was the organ. I never really realized how much organ is played on this record.
Yeah,
it's all over the place, and it adds so much depth and so much nuance to these songs. And I never realized it. Never fucking realized it. And I'm a big organ man. I love organs.
You are. Ever since you heard it in fucking the Blinks, you're all about the organ now.
It's fucking good.
But why I like I don't actually I do. I like the organ in this, and why is because it never tries to be in the front. It never does. It's always supplementary. It always helps everybody else. It never does anything to overtake anybody else's sound, and that's why I like the organ in this.
Yeah. I think also with this record, there's a perfect balance of everything. There's a perfect balance of ska, of the hardcore punk, of the melodic punk, and every member has their moment of kind of shining, or their moment of, I guess their moment of shining on this record. And dude, it's you can't get a more perfectly balanced rock record. You really can't.
I agree.
Every member killed it. And another thing I wanted to bring up too, the bass playing from Royce. The only other bass player that I feel like I can properly compare him to is Eric Wilson from Sublime.
Yeah.
They have a lot of the same technique. I don't know if Royce plays with his fingers, but it kind of sounds like he does, like Eric does. But they're very wanky and they're all over the place, but still very melodic and very much driving the songs. Because in most of these Suicide Machine songs, the guitar player really is just, I don't want to say filler, but he's the weakest part of the band. Not to say he's bad by any stretch, but he's definitely
not bad, but he's
best.
not good. Yes,
Yeah.
he's lucky that they got Royce. I think like a good comparison is the steady loop dub on Robin the Hood, that do like that.
Love that.
That bass part, how it's just like, it's slow, the doom doom, and the high part that's really squirrely and goes back doo. There's a lot of that type of playing on this album, and I like that.
But played faster.
But played faster, yeah, because
Yeah.
they're everything's aggressive and played faster. I like it. It's great, but the guitar is weak, man. Like, it's like bad weak. When you really focus on the guitar, it's like, it's bad. It's a huge letdown. It's embarrassing sometimes. All the guitarist does is those ska upstrokes and distortion, and then very, very rarely he'll hit a riff that just matches note for note with the bass, but the bass still outplays him in those little parts.
It's rare when you get like a guitar lead on this record, which is fine. Like, I don't want to knock the guy too much, because I feel like if there was too much guitar, it would have taken away from the rest of it would have really taken away from the songs. Like, I really don't want to knock him too much for that.
Yeah, but like, to say that he's not like a bad guitar player is because, I mean, he was in the band for 4 albums. He threw out like fucking 5, all but their last album essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And never once did I ever think like, wow, he's actually a really good guitarist. So I think that he probably just doesn't have anything to do with like the songwriting. And the only album that he really like pushed forward and took over like the songwriting with Royce was that horrible pop punk Beatles sounding album. That was the only album where Dan and Royce like formed together and wrote the album, and it turned out like shit. But we know Royce is a fantastic bass player, but we don't know for sure that Dan is a great guitarist.
Yeah, it's true. And this week I kind of made the Royce to Eric Wilson comparison. I viewed I can't even think of his name right now. Dan. Dan's guitar playing reminds me of Mark Stoffeli's from AFI, where Mark was the worst part of AFI on the first 3 records. I mean, not bad by any means, but Jeff Kresge fucking outshined him. Hunter outshined him on Shut Your Mouth. I mean, Davey was Davey, and Adam's just a fucking solid fucking drummer. And Mark just kind of was in the background. Like, you don't really remember many riffs from AFI from those first 3 records. You remember everything else but those riffs. And that's kind of that's how I view Dan in his position in Suicide Machines. But
I can see that.
Anyway.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's just my 2 cents. But New Girl, yeah, this is
I just
quite
like
the banger.
That intro. I always love a drum roll. You had that little bass part, that doof 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 doof, and then you can kind of like hear it getting a little bit louder, a little bit more like aggressive, a little bit more like like we're going to explode. If you've never heard the song before, the song is going to drop in. It's going to explode. It's going somewhere, and it's only it's like a second and a half, 2 seconds long, and it's
I know.
already like building on itself.
It's crazy where this song goes in 2 minutes. It takes you all over the place.
Good
Love
stuff.
it though.
Good stuff.
So, do we have anything else musically on this, or should we jump to the lyrics real quick?
we do lyrics. Let's do lyrics.
All right. So, what do you got on this one?
So I was going to say in the rankings, but I was going to say it for hair. But lyrically, this guy Jay is so positive. It's so I hate using the word uplifting because it's ugh. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. Uplifting, ugh. Like live, laugh, love,
Right.
uplifting. I don't like using that word, but
Should that go on the no-no list?
uplifting. I don't like that. I don't like that word in any capacity. I don't think that word should ever be uttered by any human. But his lyrics are very positive. They're very positive thinking. Sometimes they're a little like a little emo, a little downtrodden, a little melancholy, but overall they're still very positive. And like this song, I think this song's cute. I think he's just super fucking stoked to have a new girl, and who he doesn't want to be like a shitty person, but he also kind of wants to like rub it in the face of his shitty ex. Because he's excited to share the news, but like he's also very excited to confront his ex, who probably like made him feel like he wasn't good enough. Because we get that through context, right? Of like the focusing on friends and popularity thing, and then even still like compliments her with "You're the type of girl that any guy would die for." Like he's still, I don't think he's hung up on her, but I think he's saying like you fucked me, man. Like you hurt me good, and you know you're beautiful. You know that any guy would love to be with you, and you still treating me like shit. But I just want you to know that I'm happy now because I got my new girl. And like that's why this song is so damn good, because I never even like really thought about it until this week. How positive this song is, how happy and nice this song is.
Yeah, it is definitely a happy song. It's very stoked on life, which I mean there are moments on this record that are kind of dark. But you know, it's nice he's stoked on this girl, but I thought it was funny, like he's just kind of being a dick and just kind of rubbing it in his ex's face. But I do love that. I really do love that that verse. I love singing along to it. You're the type of girl that any guy would die for. It's like almost like Guttermouth. It's very snotty. It's very snotty.
So I gotta.
Oh man, this song is fucking. It's so beautifully written. It just the background vocals and just the way they overlap with each other. It's, man, this song is a diamond in, I don't want to say diamond in the rough, but
it kind of is though.
Such a banger.
I mean, ska punk in general just can't. People can't talk about it without bringing up like Op Ivy, even though they're not even the front runners of the movement. But like Op Ivy does have some very pop punky type songs that are really, really good. But this is it. This is the bee's knees. This is the greatest ska punk song of all time. Like this is it. This is the best.
Quintessential.
This is the quintessential, most uplifting ska punk song I've ever heard.
Yeah, I would not disagree with you on that at all.
God damn.
Oh boy.
I cannot sing this song's praises enough. And if you haven't heard this song, then I don't even want you listening to the podcast, to be honest.
I will say I've heard this song hundreds of times, mainly through playing the video game Tony Hawk Pro Skater. But even after, just since then, this song is always playlistable. It always goes on my summer playlist. It reminds me of the summertime. I've listened to this hundreds, maybe even 1,000 times. Like this
could be one of the 1,000 ones. Yeah, no, it could be.
And I still never get sick of it. I've never been sick of it. It's a classic, truly a classic.
It's interesting because you can play free skate in Tony Hawk, where there's no time limit. You just skate, for as long as you like. And there's been dozens, if not hundreds, of times where I've just been free skating to just one song, and I listen to this. It just repeats itself. It just starts over and over and over.
Yeah.
15, 20, 30 minutes into my free skate session, I'm like, oh, I should probably change the song, huh? Because I've been listening to the same song for 30 minutes straight. Like that's how great it is.
It's true. You're totally right. I've been there. All right, so let's move on. Obviously, we're not going to get into all 16 songs, but I'm sure we'll get through a huge chunk of that.
Oh, that was a cat
So
again.
I didn't hear the cat this time.
I wasn't
Damn
talking,
it.
so I don't think you can hear it. That's 8.
It's 8. Yeah, it's number 8 tonight. So, all right, so let's get into your Tubi. What do you got?
That was, I mean, just.
Oh, yeah.
I hate to
Yeah,
ask,
more
but sometimes you say some really stupid things. That was also your 1B, right?
Well, I said it was my 1B at the beginning, but
Okay. Did you?
Of
I don't
course, you
think-
decided
I
not to
think,
listen.
I think you cut
That's
it out that
fine.
time.
I mean,
so-
you just love to not listen
Well,
ever,
okay.
so that's okay.
Okay. I don't think you did. But
We'll get through it. We'll get through it. You'll learn.
All right.
All right. So what do you got for number 2?
Break the glass. I'll break the glass. I'll break it down. Break the glass is my 2B.
I love that chorus though.
It's so fucking good.
It's so
Dude,
fucking
the intro
great.
is so good. It just keeps going. The instrumental intro and then leads into the second part of the intro with the vocals. It's just a fucking banger of an intro with an even more banger of an intro. And it's just like this song like really, really cemented. I was just like, God damn, it is unreal how great the bass player is and how much better he is compared to the guitarist.
Yeah.
This was a
yeah.
song that broke me.
And the song is still super catchy. I mean, outside of New Girl, this is one of the catchier songs on the entire record.
Oh, so good.
It's amazing. This is actually my 5B.
Oh,
So, I mean, I still love this song, and it's a playlistable song for sure. And I agree with you. The bass line, I mean, the bass line is just so squirrely in this one, in the verses at least. And I even put here it really outshines the guitar. Like you completely forget the guitar's there. Like, the guitar doesn't even need to be there
nah.
because he's completely holding his own. And honestly, it might sound better if there was no guitar. It might have given the song more of like a more character, maybe. I don't know.
You know, the guitar is only there just to check the box of we're a ska punk band. We need guitar upstrokes. Okay, can your little brother play guitar? Okay, fine. Like that's what it seems like. Because if you took the guitar out, this would all still be just as great. But I don't think that people would see this band as a ska punk band. They'd be more like like some type of like dub band, like a Fishbone thing, like a more funky, because it's not traditional. Like
Yeah.
I don't think you need the guitar, but for the masses, I think the masses want to hear guitar. Nobody can play the guitar.
It's like a comfort. I think it's like a comfort thing. But
Yeah.
do you know what I think is cool about this record and really honestly his guitar playing is that he doesn't always just, I mean, yeah, he does the upstroke thing a lot, but he doesn't always just do the clean channel. Like he sometimes throws on a ton of distortion and does the upstroke. So that it's a nice kind of transition into the punk thing, because you know ska bands, everything is clean. Maybe a little bit of reverb or whatever, but everything's fucking clean. There's no distortion at all, no overdrive. But that's kind of what I like about his guitar playing on this record, and really all of the records that he's on, is that he uses the distortion while still playing the upstrokes, and I think that's cool. I mean,
And
that's one of the few compliments I'll give him, is that he does that.
It's really like how we play guitar. We have the clean channel that is just fucking clean as a whistle, or we have like the super distort, the boss pedal that we throw into it, and it's just like fuzzy as fuck. Like there's no middle ground.
Yeah.
It's just it's 0 to infinity all the time. That's it.
Yeah.
And I like that.
No gray area. I love it. I do love it. Also, let's talk about Derek's drumming on this song. He has some fucking killer parts while still just driving the song along so well. Like I never really listened and heard the little nuances to his playing and the little fills he throws in that, dude, it's almost to the point where it's unnecessary, but it still sounds so good. Like it does not take away from the actual song itself. It's just a nice flair, you know, just a little, you know, cymbal hit, you know, just or like a ride cymbal hit, like the bell part of the ride cymbal, just little things like that just add so much nuance to the song. And like I said at the beginning of the episode, the drum tone on this record is absolutely perfect. The mix, the production, everything is perfect on this fucking record. This is ideal. To me, this is like the perfect era of music from a production standpoint, mixing standpoint. You can't fuck with the late 90s.
Produced a lot of fucking albums too.
Yeah, I was looking at, what's his name again? Like Justin or
Justin Biebs? Was he the Biebs?
Yeah, it was Justin Bieber. Yeah.
Nah.
No, it was Julian Raymond.
Yeah, Raymond.
He's done shit with Cheap Trick, Insane Clown Posse, Cottonmouth Kings, Wallflowers, Fastball. Let's see, what else does he have here? Yeah, I don't know the other shit, but I mean, very popular, famous bands. But I don't know. It's cool.
I like it. Apparently, you don't like the song, but that's all right.
No, I do. It's my 5B. What are you talking about?
It's hard to pick up on the drums sometimes because like with this song, the bass line, that do 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 do, like it's so up and down. Like the scales are so prevalent. You can hear them. You can pick them apart because the guitarist is really just taking a break, I guess. And so the bass shines through. But then, like you said, when you start to listen to the drummer, he's not Travis Barkering the song. He's adding minimal nuance and only in parts that are like meticulously placed, and it's well crafted. He's a really, really good drummer. He knows when to just chill, but he also like wants to assert like his dominance over the song, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And he does it in a very tactful way, and I love it.
I do too. So let's play a little bit of Break the Glass, and then we'll jump into the lyrics and then move on. Sound good?
Yes, sir.
All right, so here it is, Break the Glass from the Suicide Machines.
He does all these cool little, like, these super short, like, wow! These like little yelps. So cool. Love it.
I think this is the only song that he does that in. I don't remember him doing it anywhere else.
He does he does throughout his career. But he likes to
but
yell.
It's not like a common thing.
And then he does it in New Girl too, like some of the like the tell your friend show up, like that part, because it was clean vocals, and then like dirty, and then go back to the clean chorus.
Yeah. All right. So what do we have lyrically on Break the Glass?
Some of these were a little tough. I'm not even gonna lie. Some of them were a little tough.
I agree.
I'm thinking and along the lines of kind of more emo an approach. So I think the song's about like being unsure of himself, being self-conscious. He has some stuff he's got to deal with, and it makes him self-conscious. And I think the break the glass thing is shattering like the metaphorical glass house he shut himself in. It's a sort of like breaking free type of thing. That's what I think breaking the glass is.
I like that interpretation, and I agree with you. I feel like some of his lyrics, they were difficult. They were definitely difficult. To me, what I interpreted this song as him warning a girl that he doesn't have a lot to offer her emotionally, that he's a broken man, but she's welcome to help him be a better person. But he just wants to let her know, like, it might turn out to be terrible. So that's what it is. He's damaged goods. Let's just say that. So I don't know. That's what I got lyrically on it. I don't think his lyrics really aren't bad. I think he does have some cool things to say, and the way he words things I think is really cool at times, but it is kind of difficult as well.
Yeah.
But so yeah, that's all I got lyrically. So I'm good to move on.
Good to move on. What's your 2B?
My 2B is Our Time.
Our Time. Ooh,
this got one. No time.
This one, man. This one's on the fence. This was a banger, and then it got demoted to okay.
Really?
The bass wastes no time jumping into just a very difficult riffage. Yeah. And I just don't think it's like a standout track. When you pit this against other actual standout tracks on the album, this is the best of the B team here.
I mean, see, I don't agree with that. I think that's silly boy talk, but So I mean, the song starts off with him yelling, "I got no time." Like it's like you're instantly being rushed, and I love it. I fucking love it. It's one of the faster songs on the album. It's very much more hardcore punk. There's a little bit of ska stuff in here with the upstrokes and that's during the verse. But even then, it's played a little bit more aggressively. It has the distortion on it. It's not just the clean tone. And it fucking drives along, man. And I think one thing that really drives this song, obviously, is the bass. Like we've been talking about, we've been gushing over Royce. I don't like saying his name. It's very difficult for me to say his
Royce.
name. Yeah,
It's a stupid name.
It's like Royce and
The
Royal.
fuck is a Royce?
Royal, like that's a word that shouldn't exist. It's too difficult
Royal?
to say. Yeah.
Royal blue.
Royal, yeah. See, it just sounds weird. It sounds like you're underwater or something.
Roar.
Yeah, it's
Cat just went off again.
I didn't hear the cat this time.
8
So what is that?
times,
That's number
baby.
9. No,
8.
it's 9.
Is it 9?
It's 9. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 9.
9.
But it's yeah. This is so fucking good, and even in the chorus, the bassist, he doesn't overdo it in the chorus. It's more subtle, but there's a few like little notes that he throws in there that really just churches it up, and the song is just nonstop, fucking fun, greatness. I love it. I love this song, but I mean we don't have to play it. If it's not a banger for you, we're not gonna play it.
Well, we may not overlap in bangers because the last like half of the album is barely bangers for me.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of looking at my banger list, and there aren't that many bangers in the latter half.
How many total bangers do you have?
I have 10.
Oh my god.
How many do you have?
8.
Oh, well, it's not that far off. But we don't have to play our time. Let's get into the lyrics, and then we'll jump into the next song. Sound good?
Okay.
Okay. So lyrically, what do you have on this one?
I mean, if this is your banger, you want to take it away? You want me got it? What do you want to do?
No, I'll start it.
Okay.
So I think this is about him questioning if there's something more to life than just working and consuming media and just the more superficial things in life. He talks about, is there really free thought? Because it kind of seems like we're told to believe in one thing or another, but he just doesn't see it that way, and he's just kind of stuck in this depression, this kind of pit of despair. So to me, this is like a more depressing song, even though it's just so like kind of wild and crazy musically. Yeah. But that's what I got lyrically on this one.
I mean, that's basically what I got. I much like the same thing. I think that there's a lot of things wrong in society. I'm speaking for him now. There's a lot of things wrong in society, but like who the fuck cares? Nothing's gonna change anyway. I think it's a very pessimistic approach to to solving problems, and that's it starts off, I got no time. Like he doesn't have time for this shit because he's too busy just having fun, fucking around. And the last line is no one even cares. And so I think that goes along the lines of like, why even try? Because fucking nobody cares anyway. Who cares?
It's very pessimistic.
Yeah.
Love it.
But this is early in their career. They can be pessimistic. It's fine.
Yeah, they're what, like 22 years old? They're fucking young as shit.
Kids.
So yep, that's the way she goes. So what's your 3B then?
SOS. SOS. Help. I like this one. First off, let me just say that this is like a deliberate attempt of him like changing the way he sings. Because that like that, the way he sings that, he doesn't do that, I don't think, ever again. He does a scream, he sings. He doesn't really like do that yarl ever again.
Yeah, it's very Billy Joe Armstrong.
Yeah. I like that. I think it's funny. It's cool. SOS is it's like a ska punk song, but like in a minor key. So it's not quite happy. It's not quite rolly and bouncy. It's a little melancholy. But it's great. Yeah. Dude, squirrely bass line. But now we got a lead guitar part, right? The palm muting thing.
Yeah, a little bit.
But this is like when I foreshadowed earlier, he's palm muting the same notes to support the bass, which is which like in a good band they would be the opposite, because the bass still outshines him on his own fucking part. because you can hear the bass adding extra notes
true,
or sliding or hammering and doing things that the guitarist should be doing. Like it's cool. I like the part. It's fun. It's a little embarrassing, but it's cool. I like it. I like it.
What I think is really cool, especially in the first verse, the way he does this. I agree with you, like that kind of that the way he kind of does that weird, like I can't even think what he does in the chorus. But what we were just talking about, that Billy Joe kind of sound in the chorus, but in the verse, especially the first verse, the first line is, "I take a look around. I don't know what I see." Like he kind of he speeds it up on the second half of each line in the verse, so it gives it like this kind of rushed feel throughout the whole song. So you're like going back and forth, and then in the chorus you hear something that you've never heard from him before on any other song. This is a very, very unique song in itself, and I think it's one of the catchiest songs on the entire record. On top of that,
and that's not even the most unique part of the song. And we'll still get to that in a little bit. This one's very Sublime-like in its key and tone for me. This one's very like date rapey. Like it's got that kind of that melancholy kind of sadder tone to it overall, but everything is just kind of firing on all cylinders. This one's very Sublime-y for me, and I got a lot of Sublime from this band, but that's because that's a great thing.
I think what it is, at least with his vocals, like the way Bradley sings "Date Rape." The way he sings that song, he goes, "That's when things got out of control," and then it goes back like into like the normal way he sings. Like he does a lot of different variations with his vocals.
Yeah,
not variations, but like different stylings with his voice, and that's what he does on this record, or not on this record, but on this song. He's kind of all over the place and kind of playing to the lyrics or to the actual song itself, much like Bradley did on Date Rape, or really any Sublime song.
This song has Jay doing like 3 different voices within like 2 seconds. Because one of the last choruses that he does with like the SOS, he goes, "We need help!" He screams, and then it goes into the scat, right? The bop bop bop.
I love it.
It goes into that part, and like the way it drops into that. I mean, if you never heard the song, you would have no idea that's coming. Like, why would you? You have the New Girl into SOS, and then he jumps into that scat part. It flows absolutely flawlessly. It's perfect. It is a fantastic part. It doesn't linger too long, but it gets like the point across, and then it moves on from that. But within that 1 second, 2 second period, he goes from singing to a quick like scream growl, hardcore growl into the scat thing. Come on. In fucking 2 seconds. Not even like a second and a half.
The way that they drop into like a halftime part or into a ska from a punk part or vice versa, it's flawless. Like there's really never a transition into each part. They just kind of drop in there, but it still sounds so seamless. It's not like Rise Against where, they'll double time a song for no reason and it just sounds so disjointed and unnatural. But Suicide Machines, man, they really, I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is, but they fucking nail it. They fucking nail it. And this is one of those songs. That halftime bridge, fucking so good. With the scatting, like you said. I love it. Fucking love it. This is my 4B.
I was going to say, okay.
Yeah, this is my 4B. And also, this is another song. The subtle organ playing kind of plays through the entire tune. I mean, it doesn't shine. It doesn't do anything super fancy, but man, it adds so much depth to the actual song. I fucking love it. Fucking love it. So
good.
I don't know. That's what I got on this one. Should we? Let's play a little bit of SOS.
Play a fucking track.
We haven't played a song in a little bit, so here it is from the Suicide Machines. There you go, SOS from the Suicide Machines. Dude, somebody's like setting off some crazy mortar fireworks right now.
I feel like every week,
loud, man.
There's fireworks going off at your house.
Dude, it's insanely loud right now.
It's fucking Monday. Who sets off mortars on a Monday? And 4th of July's next week. Just save it till next week.
I know. I think it's because we're right next to the high school. So I think people think like, oh, we can go out onto the field or into the parking lot and shoot them off and then just like take off. Like that's the only thing I could think of as to why they're so They do it so much over here.
Oy.
But, yeah, they set off while that song was playing. There was probably like 6 that went off.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. But damn, okay, yeah, SOS. There we go. So what do we have lyrically on this one?
Cat
I
just
didn't hear the
went.
cat.
Cat just went off right now. That's
All right, that's number 10.
That's number 10, baby. This is I thought this was a posy message about intolerance. He's getting fed up with the way the world treats each other and is asking for help for all of us.
Okay.
And I think it's interesting because I read that article I sent to you where friend of the pod John Gentili from punknews.com podcast.
Yeah.
He was interviewing Jay recently, and you could tell like he was kind of fanboying out a little bit, right? Could you get that vibe from him?
Yeah, for sure.
Which is so cool. And one of the things Jay was talking about was how in the early days they would talk about doing things and talk about why society sucks and talk about what they need to change. But now in his older days, they don't talk about it as much, but they do it. Like he's out there at soup kitchens. He's out there like helping feed the homeless. He's out there volunteering his time. I think that's super interesting. Just as people get older, they start to talk less and do more.
All right, so let's did we talk about the lyrics on the Yeah, we talked about the lyrics on SOS.
Yeah.
Let's move on to your that was your 2B, right? Or 3B?
That was my 3B.
3B.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
What B was that for you? Oh, your 4B?
That was my 4B, yeah. Yeah.
So what is your 3B?
Islands.
It's funny.
Does this make you mad? I mean,
no, this is the strongest chorus I think they've ever done. This is the most catchy thing they've ever done, ever, on any album. This chorus is... You listen to just the one line of it, and you've already got it. You turn it off, 20 minutes later, you're still singing it. Like, that's how catchy it is.
This is also one of those songs where the verse and the chorus are completely, different from one another, but they're both equally catchy.
Yeah.
Which you don't see very often. And also, this song reminds me a lot of the Vandals. Like, this could easily be a Vandals song. It would have been like a little bit goofier, a little bit snottier if the Vandals had done it. But this is through and through a Vandals song. It's so fucking good. It's a skate punk song. It's a straightforward skate punk song. No ska at all. It's killer, man. It's a killer fucking song.
I think it's funny because it has it is the strongest melody, but it has like some of the simplest instrumentation on the album, like just very, very dumbed down instrumentation. And I think that's deliberate because they know this is a fucking catchy song. And so they dumb everything down so you focus only on the melody. Like this song, this is their Boys on the Docks. This is their Olay. This is their Bottles to the Ground. Like this is their song. This is it.
I really can't argue that.
Just good sing-along shit.
Yeah. And really the only person I feel outside of the melody, the only instrument that might shine a little bit is Derek's drum tone, because the tone, his snare drum, I'm sorry, I'm just going to rave about his snare. His snare tone is just so, it's so good. It's so perfect, especially of this time. I mean, I speak so highly of Goldfinger and kind of what John Feldman did with Goldfinger at this time, like from a production standpoint and mixing standpoint, but Suicide Machines fucking killed it on this record. And Derek, truly, him and Royce, like I said, the unsung heroes of this band. But I don't know. Let's play a little bit of Islands, because we haven't played a song in a while because we were ranting and raving about
complaining about young people.
Yeah. Fuck the kids, as NoFX would say. So here's Islands from Suicide Machines. Dude, it's the Vandals, man. Every time I listen to this song, I think, dude, I gotta listen to the Vandals after I listen to this record. It's straight up just that dun, dun, dun. It's very kind of like Disneyland pop sound that the Vandals kind of have. That's what this song sounds like.
I could hear this being from like Hitler Bad, that era of Vandals.
Yes, exactly.
I could hear it. Yeah. It's there.
It's fucking good, man. I love this song. I love the Vandals. We got to do the Vandals again. We've done them so many times, but we got to do them again.
What was the last one we did? Look what I almost stepped in.
No, I think the last one we did was Hitler. No, it was either Hitler Bad or Live Fast. Have we done? I don't even know. I'd have to go back and look.
We did.
I know
look what I almost stepped in. That was at your house.
That's right. But we also did it. We did it at your house as well, because that was in the old format. We did it at your house. We did a double whammy, a double header. We did Guttermouth. I think we did Cover with Ants, and then we did Look What I Almost Stepped In, as well, like one after the other. I remember doing that in the office.
Cat just went off.
I didn't hear the cat.
That's 11.
11 cats.
11 cats.
I'm really curious what the fuck that is. Like, I can't wait until you figure out what it is.
I assume the battery's just gonna die, and then I will never figure it out.
And then one day in like 5 years, the battery for whatever reason will get like one last surge, and then you'll hear it, and it'll fucking scare the hell out of you.
Ugh.
I don't know. Anyway,
Ugh.
Islands in the Sky. What do you have lyrically on this one?
I think it's about daydreaming and stuff. I don't know. He has all these dreams and aspirations, but society brings him down with their goddamn negativity.
Yeah, I got that as well, but I feel like it's also like a talking about his generation, so I guess that would be Generation X.
Generation Strange.
Yes, exactly. And how, everybody is always like, the boomers are always telling him, like, you got to work harder, you got to do this, the American dream, remember the American dream. And it's him kind of like calling out, like, there's no fucking American dream. Everything is shit. It's always been shit, which is kind of true. The American dream never really existed. And it's him just kind of calling out that bullshit and how that's not a way to live, and how his aspirations are constantly being shut down, and how he's constantly being ridiculed for having, any sort of imagination or just kind of trying to enjoy his life. And he's kind of saying, like, life is not about work. You got to have some joy in your life. So, that's what I got. Kind of the same thing.
Okay.
But
Okay.
Islands, great fucking song. So,
Islands in the Sky.
what do you got
song.
for
Good
your
stuff. So that was Islands was my 5B.
5B? All right.
5B.
So, but we're on. What's your 4B then?
4B was.
Oh,
that's weird.
They're just islands in the sky.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
This was the first song on the album with horns.
Yeah.
Like this is it, man. This is some real good ska here. Everything about the song is fucking great. And the horns, man. Like I like this stuff. I think it's great. I love the fast guitar part. There's some really good background vocals here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's good.
So this isn't a banger for me, but this is a close B, a CB, some might say.
CB.
I do like how it starts out super heavy with that intro, but then it just jumps right into that super ska kind of thing with the speed, the crazy bass line, upstrokes, like you said, the horn section or the trombone and sax. It's a pretty typical ska song, but it does kind of slow down a bit toward the end, and then you get that one last final push of the punk kind of stuff. But it's a good song. It's really a good song. I dig this one. But there can only be so many Bs on this.
There can only be so many Bs. I mean, there can only be 16 Bs. We can't have more than 16 Bs.
Well, that's true.
There's only 16 songs. I guess. Okay. I guess we'll press forward.
I mean, I don't mind playing it. Or I mean, do we want to jump into the lyrics on this one?
No, it's fine.
Okay. I mean, I think this album, like you said, is very top heavy, but also like the first 3 songs, New Girl, SOS, and Break the Glass. Those 3 songs are just, I mean, you can't really beat the catchiness of those 3 songs. So everything after it
is playing catch up. Everything's playing catch up.
Yeah, it's playing catch up. Like there are cool parts, obviously, in almost every song, but yeah, you really are playing catch up. That's the way to put it. So I don't know. Hey is not a banger. If it was a banger, it'd probably be my 11B because I did really like this song. But I don't know. Anyway,
Okay.
do we got anything else on this one or?
Let's move forward. I only have 2 more Bs.
Okay. Wait, and this was your 4B, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so my 4B was SOS. My 5B was Break the Glass.
I'll break the glass, I'll break it down.
Yes,
Yeah, my 6B's No Face,
No Face. Is that wait.
the 4th track.
Oh yeah, that's not a B for me either.
Wow. This one
It's
had
a good song. It's a really good.
Oh,
Actually, it's
solo,
my
bro. This one.
I'm sorry. It's my 10B.
This one had a little
My
keyboard
apologies.
solo in there.
It does.
This
It
one's
does,
very
yes.
very Goldfinger like. Bass never stops. This is I don't know. This is cool. I like this song.
This is one of the only few songs where the organ kind of takes the forefront and kind of shines on it. I mean, I guess it's not really a solo though. You think it is?
Oh, it's a solo.
Okay.
That's
okay.
a solo,
It's a solo.
baby.
It's a solo. It's a solo, and he really is in the forefront on it. Some really great walking bass lines in the song. I mean, Royce, like we've talked about, fucking killer. Guitar playing, simple upstrokes, clean upstrokes. But what I really like too is Derek's drumming on this. I mean, it's very technical at points, but it still serves the song so well. It's not Travis Barker, playing everything he could possibly play on his drum kit. But it's just, I don't know. Derek really just fucking blows me away on this record. His drumming does.
It's interesting. I don't know if you saw or made note of it, or if you're looking now. But do you know who plays organ on this album? It's Derek.
No shit. No, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even look at that. I did not even look at that.
According
Holy
to the
shit.
stat sheet, yeah, it's Derek. Derek plays all the fucking
The
keys.
stat sheet. You're right. Yeah, the Hammond organ right here, the clavinet, the piano.
Yeah,
That's
so
amazing.
This guy knows how to just support, man. This guy's like, I don't know.
He's the MVP of this record. I honestly believe he's the MVP. I mean,
no, it's got to be Royce. It's got to be Royce. He's too good.
He is very good, but Derek, man, his drumming is still really, really good. And now that I know that he does the organ on this, it really sets it apart. Like, nah, man, Derek is the MVP of this record, through and through. But
Okay.
let's play. Okay, fuck it. You know what? Let's play a little bit of No Face because I know everybody's
because it has a
clamoring
Derek
to hear
solo.
this song.
Yeah, it has a Derek solo.
Derek solo. So here it is, No Face from the Suicide Machines. Woo! Hot damn, that's a good song.
See, like I agree with you in some respects because, like, I mean, we just heard this album so many fucking times.
Yeah.
New Girl, just like throw that out complete in this album because that's not even fair. But like the cat just went off again.
I heard the cat that time. For a second, I was like, "What the fuck is that sound?"
That's fucking 12 times. 12 times.
Yeah.
12 cats in this fucking room.
We're 3 hours in and we've heard it 12 times.
But SOS and Break the Glass have a definite tune to them that is memorable. That outside of this album, I can not listen to this album for a year, and I can still sing the top 3 for sure, plus Islands. But this is like No Face is a song that even when we were talking about it, kind of like, how does the melody go? I forgot. But as soon as he starts doing that, I go, oh, I instantly remember everything about this song.
I totally agree with you. You hit the nail on the head on that one. Fuck, man.
This is such a cool fucking song. I love this song so much.
I do too. I want to put this as a higher banger, but I don't know why. I don't know why I can't.
Just can't do it.
I mean, this record is just there's too much good stuff on here. I feel like this is also a record where, in a year from now, a lot of these rankings would be different. A lot of the ordering of my bangers would be different.
And it's not even, honestly, like overall, I think War Profiteering, if we just did like a banger versus banger breakdown, I think War Profiteering would have more bangers than this does.
Yeah.
But like the quality of bangers on here is just it's
higher.
unmatched. It's just unmatched.
Yeah. Oh shit. All right, so what do you have lyrically on this one? On No Face?
No Face. I thought this. I think it's a plea to stop violence. Like the verses are an attempt at making all these things that he's saying sound kind of mundane, typical, kind of whiny, right? Because he sings them fast enough so they don't have much weight to them, and the chorus parts are set up in the beginning to sound like he's just kind of whining, but then he hits you with that kid dying through senseless violence line,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden that same chorus that you've just kind of been like, oh, why are you whining about? Now it's like a different like impact. Now it means something. Now it's something bigger than it was fucking 30 seconds ago. And I think that's cool. That's good. That's a solid songwriting.
I agree with you on that one. I think overall, the way I interpreted it at least is it's about society putting people down for being different. It's also him kind of like, talking shit on the status quo, and which, is kind of contradictory, but whatever. And then also he points out, why should we listen to what the man has to say, what the government, what society has to say when they're causing all this unnecessary violence? Like, they're already untrustworthy. Why should we even listen to them? They're idiots. They're dum-dums. So
Dum-dums.
That's what I got on it. That's what I got on it. But anyway, okay. No Face. No fucking face.
No fucking face.
That was what, your 7B? 6B, right?
Yep.
All right. I mean, I don't.
To both.
I think I have like one more B.
All I want to know is Van's song a B for you?
Wait, what song?
Van's song?
Oh, no, it's not a B.
Okay, because this song is really pop. This is like a big fan favorite. Like this is This is a deep cut. People like this song. I don't dislike it. I think it's an easy punker song. It's solid. I think the ska parts were good, but it was not like a standout track.
Agreed. I totally agree with you. It has everything you would want from a skate punk song, like a run of the mill skate punk song. Like, this is what would be played on K-Rock, would be this song. And I get it. I mean, it does have that appeal. What I thought was funny about the song is the lyrics is that throughout the entire song they're talking shit about the grunge music, people who love that kind of music, what they're wearing and all this kind of stuff. And he's telling them, "Oh, wear Vans and be into skating and listen to cool punk music." And it's like, dude, you literally spent the entire record talking about how people shouldn't care what other people have to say, and then you immediately go and talk shit about another group of people. It's like, come on.
I don't understand why this is like a fan favorite. I don't get it.
It's not even one of the catchiest songs, but it's the most vanilla song on the record. Yeah. That's for sure. Maybe that's why it's so popular. It's the Foo Fighters of this album. I like how you constantly refer to the Foo Fighters as vanilla. I mean, they are. I mean, I agree with you. They are vanilla, but I still like quite a few of their songs, and I think one of their albums is fantastic.
I have best of Foo Fighters on the vinyls.
Yeah, they do have some good songs, but they are vanilla.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I've never not said that. I'm not a huge Foo Fighters fan, even though I've seen them like 3 times.
I mean, they're no Rise Against, but they're good.
Well, okay, we're not going to do this. Because now I know you're just trying to provoke me.
I only speak the truth. Forget about game. I only speak the truth.
Yeah, the stupid truth that is even real. That made no sense, but that's
didn't
okay.
make sense.
No, did not. All right, what?
My last banger, you don't have to really talk about it. My last banger is Too Much, the 7th track.
Okay.
I like it. It's good. Yeah. But what other bangers do you have here?
I have, Too Much is my 9B. And then we already talked about, and my 7B is The Real You. And 6B is Punk Out. But yeah, I mean, we don't need to talk about this stuff.
So so I want to talk about The Real You just real quick. because it's not a banger for me. But there's a couple things in here I noticed. One, some of his vocals on here reminded me of like Mark Adkins on Covered with Ants era. So the way he delivers some of the lines, kind of snotty, kind of, but also kind of trying real hard to be rock type of thing. And also, I couldn't find who I think is a female vocalist, that female sounding vocal part. I couldn't find who that was on any platform and anywhere.
I couldn't find that either. I was curious who that was because I think she has 3 lines in the song. Maybe just 2.
And they're definitely stand out.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't know who it was. I can hear a little bit of the Guttermouth thing you're talking about because there are points on this song where he does sound very snotty, but I hear more Rancid than I do Guttermouth. But I think that's just musically, not vocally at all, because he does not sound like Tim Armstrong or Lars at all. But yeah, I could see what you mean by that. I do like the way he screams "fucker" when it's like that back and forth with the girl. I think it's a really good like kind of scream that he does. But overall, I don't know. It's a good song. It's a good banger. This is another one of those songs where I feel like the band drops really well into the ska, back into the punk, and he just goes back and forth. But they're just really good at it. They're just really, really good at that and making it sound seamless even when it's not seamless. Let's wrap it up. Let's give our final thoughts, and then we'll rate this record based off of our world famous 3-point rating system, where 3 is a perfect album, 2 is a good album you're going to continue to listen to, 1 is a bad album but give it a shot, and 0 is the worst thing you've ever heard. So, what do you give this album, Jeff? Go.
So my final thoughts are the Suicide Machines. I only listened to their first 2 albums plus 1, and then the latest album, so I never even heard the middle stuff. I was unbelievably surprised at how great it was. This is a band that I just don't think had ever got the recognition they deserved, and I honestly think that it's because of that Shooting of the Foot K-Rock concert. I think that's what happened. And they signed to Hollywood Records, which Hollywood Records was a Disney offshoot.
Yeah,
that was a Disney-owned label, and I mean that's going nowhere. So there's a lot of things that these guys did that just didn't help their career. And I think they're better than that. I think they're better than everything. I think they're better than New Girl, because you can hear War Profiteering, which came out much later. They're still kind of pushing the same agenda. They're getting highly political. They're encouraging people to do things, to stand up, while still putting out killer music. And then again, a decade later, they're still with their new sound with Revolution Radio. They're still doing the same thing. They're still pushing the same agenda, encouraging people, and putting out really, really good music. So this is a band that should be bigger than they are. And it sucks that they're not, because they are better than a lot of the staple punk bands. I know Lagwagon's a fan favorite. People love Lagwagon. I don't get it.
For some reason, yeah.
But this band is leaps and bounds better than Lagwagon. So,
for sure.
I don't know, man. This album's not perfect. There's like the bottom half is very, very lukewarm for me, but the top half is just so good. It's so iconic. It's so defining of a sound. The Suicide Machines didn't invent the ska punk sound, but they perfected it. New Girl is the best ska punk song of all time, and because of that, this is 2.8. I give this a 2.8. It's not perfect, but it is really, really, really good. And you should listen to it, if not just for the first fucking side A. My God, I haven't heard a side A this great since Boston's Boston. Fuck, that's a good side A. But this is also a really, really good side A.
Forgot about that.
Man, Boston's Boston is a good side A.
It is so good. So fucking good. All right, so you gave this a 2.8 out of 3. This record, I mean, there is nostalgia attached to it, but nostalgia aside, the record is just too good. I agree with you, it is not perfect. It is a little top heavy, but even the filler songs, you throw those songs on pretty much any other punk album, and they're going to be fucking great songs.
Yeah,
they really, really are. But the Beyond Banger songs are Beyond Bangers for a reason, and they overshadow the filler stuff, I guess. But like I said at the beginning too, I think like this record could have been cut down to probably 12 songs and been just could have taken over the world, you know, within the punk scene at least. This could have just been one of the biggest things ever. And this was a very popular album, and it's still very popular, but yeah, there's just a little too much. 16 songs. I understand they're short, but it's 16 songs.
It's too much.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Like this is by far the greatest ska punk ska, whatever you want to call it, album of all time. Can't fuck with it. New Girl is a beyond banger. BBB, triple B actually.
Dang, triple B.
Yeah, it really is a triple B. Come on.
Wow. I agree. We've never ventured off into the triple B territory yet.
This is an Asinine Radio first.
This is crazy.
Yeah, triple B.
I'm scared. I'm a little nervous. What if we get caught? Another cat fucking noise just went off.
I know. Oh, another
Did
one?
you hear it? Yeah, another one just went off right now.
That's number 13.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it's so dumb. But anyway, yeah, this record, the Suicide Machines, Destruction by Definition. I'm gonna give this a 2.8. I'm gonna give this a 2.8 as well, because it is not perfect. God damn, I wish this was just like 12 songs, and then the other 4 songs could have been like a cool Japanese B-sides or whatever, you know?
Yeah, like why not?
Thing. That would have been so much cooler. But
perfect.
Whatever. We have the songs, and I don't know. That's all I got. That's all I got on the Suicide Machines. So you have anything else? Good.
That's it. That's all.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening. You know the drill. Give us 5 stars and 5 stars only on the Apple Podcasts and the Spotify's. So go do that. Tell all your friends how amazing we are, because we honestly are the most amazing people in the world. Best podcast. And I'm bored. So
I'm bored.
That's it. That's all. Okay.
The rhythm section are off in the back. The drummer's for sure in the back. Nobody cares about the bass player. The cat just went off.
I heard that. I heard it.
Did you?
I fucking heard it. Yes, I heard it. I didn't want to interrupt you, but yes, I fucking heard that.
Dude, what is going on?
It's like almost like gutter mouth. It's very snotty. Very snotty.
So I gotta.
Oh man, this song is fucking. It's so.
Break the glass. I'll break the glass. I'll break it down. Break the glass is my 2B.
Yeah.
New Girl, just like throw that out complete in this album, because that's not even fair. But like the cat just went off again.
I heard the cat that time. For a second, I was like, "What the fuck is that sound?"
That's fucking 12 times.
I'm not a huge Foo Fighters fan, even though I've seen them like 3 times.
I mean, they're no Rise Against, but they're good.
Well, okay, we're not gonna do this.